Alright guys, this is my regional deck profile of the Prophecy deck I ran, and I will be doing a little bit of an analysis of my thoughts about the deck, where I think it's going to go, what I wish I had done differently, and I'll try to do a quick run through of all my games and top 8 and so forth. And then I'll do my side deck, extra deck, and explain to you my thoughts about the matchups. Okay, let's just dive right into it, and I'll try not to make it too long, but this is not going to be a normal quick, 4 or 5 minute profile. It's probably going to be pretty long. Obviously you play your big three, your boss monster. There's no reason not to. If you don't have them, that's of course a different story. Kaiku for the dragon matchup. For Evil Swarms is not bad because Kirakiron, and then it is an 1800 beater, but it's really great against the dragon matchup, and that's your main worry. And it's not bad against the mirror match as well, to remove stuff so that they can't use their Spellbook of Life. I played the Exemplar. A lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people said I was crazy, you don't need it. But here's the thing. Once your priestesses go to the grave, or you've exceeded to make Big Eye or Draco Sack or whatever, or you synchro in a Crimson Blader, the only way to get this back out is you're reborn. Because if you use Spellbook of Life and you bring them back out just to pop things, you can't exceed again. And Draco and Big Eye, they won me a few games, and she is like your continuous reborn. And she also sets up your Digesto Phoenix plays, your Synchro Summon options for Tempest or Arcanite or whatever. So she's, in my opinion, very important. Double Justice, of course. To me, she should be the #1 monster besides Priestess. This is what you get out with your Judgment at the end, ideally, unless you have a decent field and you want to bring out a Kaiku or a Jowgen to kind of lock down the field at the end phase. But she's your guarantee to get this, and most likely put your Spellbook of Judgment back in your hand, because Judgment can't search Judgment. And then of course I played Jowgen, just stop everything. Maybe you get something in your hand you don't need as much as blowing up the field, all the special summon monsters, attack into 2 Draco Sack tokens and then blow them up. I mean, there's a few options there. Jowgen's very important in the main. Of course I played the 3 Magicians. Why would you not play 3 Stratos? And then this was the bad choice. This was not a very good idea. This should have been another Veiler. So I only played 1 Veiler, 1 Maxi. I would change this to another Veiler. Now if I was playing like 2 Tragodia, I could see the Maxi, but I'm not really maxing into anything. And therefore I wish I had made that one small change. This Veiler, the 1 Veiler was great. Every time I had it, I used it. I was happy to have it. Alright, so there's that lineup of the monsters. Actually, let me. This is the mat I want. I'm going to switch over here real quick to the mat that I played on. I should have did that already. Whatever. Okay, play these 2. I didn't play the heavy. There's a lot of times when I had to play 2 Fire Fists. Let's see what else. 2 Fire Fists, 2 Evil Swarms, some dragons, but the Fire Fists were a big problem. They were a big problem. And I wish I had heavy. Obviously the 3 secrets. Let's move this up a little bit. The 2 masters. I don't really need to explain all this. This is really self-explanatory. Eternity, I will go down to 1 after this. This was very lackluster. I did not find that I needed it. I found that it was just kind of okay. However, on the opposite side of that coin, I will say that there was times where I had so many removed, and I was almost running out of spellbooks in the deck. Tower once a turn just wasn't putting them in as fast as I was using them up. There's times I wish I had like Wheel of Prophecy in the deck. I went with 2 power. A lot of people say that nowadays you may only need 1, because it's kind of, I'm not going to say the weakest spellbook, but it's just not as necessary. I'm going to say this is very necessary for a Exemplar or a Kaiku or a Justice powered up to get over Ophion. I only went with 1 tower instead of 2. I probably would take this out to put in a second tower. There were so many times where I wish I had it, and I'm sure in the mirror match I would wish I had it. So I'd probably make that slight change. Went with 1 star haul. A lot of the versions I've seen ran no star hauls. The guys from ARG didn't run it. I talked to Cordero for about a week or two beforehand, and he said that he kind of liked the star haul, and I would say you should run 2 if you can find room. I ran 2 lives. I seemed to always side 1 out, but at the same time, life was so good for me. I don't know if I could go down to 1. Obviously, the 3 judgments. Why would you not run 3? A lot of people are like, oh, you don't need 3, you only need 2. Okay, but if your fate plays are removing these by necessity, not by choice, because that's all you have, especially first turn, you know, this plus the secrets plus master, and then you want to play fate to remove something, you know, you got to remove it. So having that other one in your deck's very important. 2 fates. Sometimes I wish I ran 3. 2 seem to be just fine, and 2 wisdoms. I can't say I'd really want to change any of this. These were fine. I still think you could run 3 fates. Now I ran True Dress. That was kind of a weird techie idea of mine. I kept finding monster effects were messing me up. And Dress was good, but I usually used it for its 600 attack lowering ability more than anything else. Book of Moon was amazing. I would never run this deck without Book of Moon. Ever, ever, ever. So these I would still probably say, hey, you don't need them. You can run another Fate or a Tower or a 2nd star haul. And then I ran the three roars. I don't think I could ever run this deck without the roars. Although Cordero this week he did pretty darn well with no traps at all. So all right, guys, there's that. Yeah, no, it looks like I'm smashing my cards up, but I'm not. Okay, so that's the main deck. I don't really need to explain the plays too much, in my opinion. We probably should do a separate video for that because this will get really boring if I don't. I play 3 draw locks. I wish I hadn't. This was just kind of okay. Now, a lot of that's because I only played 2 E-Dragons and no Prophecies, so this could have been amazing. We just don't know. But I still think you should run 2. I just don't know about 3. Well, I'll have to see. It's more of an experience thing. I played the Virus for, obviously, for Dragons or for Dracosac, whatever I came up against. You got to have the heavy in there, and it was very good. I'm so glad I had it in there instead of 3 Mustees. I put all these in against Dino Fist. And people kept citing Imperial Ironwall against me and other things, and so good to have those. These 2 cards were probably my MVP of the side deck. Yeah, definitely. They were definitely the MVP of the side deck. I only had the 1 Mind Drain. Wish I had 2. This is for the mirror match, and I just never played Prophecy, so it doesn't mean it wasn't good. It doesn't mean I won't run it again. It just means I didn't get it. The Breakthrough skill proved very, very good. I wish I had room in the main deck. I just don't. And then the other MVP to go with these 2 was the Decrees. When I sided in these 2 with the Decrees, I would just lock people down. It was really hard. They just couldn't get rid of it. And one guy actually, I think he had a bear. He popped it off or something. I don't remember what he did. No, it wasn't bear because I had this out. Anyway, he popped the Decree, and then I just flipped up the second one. It was it won me the game. So that's that. And extra deck. Hierophant, because she's 2800, smash into a YuGiOh's. She's got a great ability blowing up back row, which is very important for the deck. Oh geez, why are these out of order? Oh, jeez. Okay, well, pretend there's a big eye right there. I guess I took him out. Sorry about that, guys. Maestro and Cowboy. Elf, Phoenix, and Gotchi. Let's see, I think I made Phoenix 1 time. I'm really not sure if I did, though. I'm finding that these plays with they're not that important. They're just not that big a deal. I don't have to have them to do well. There you go, there's the big eye. So, I wouldn't stress it, guys, if you don't have like Phoenix. Phoenix is your better out of your 3, but Shiny Elf's pretty darn good if you want to power it up to get over an Ophion or something. You got to run the 1 Crimson Scrap Dragon. I brought it out once. It was great. Never brought it out. Never brought that out. Or any of these. Doesn't mean I didn't need them. It just didn't happen for me. There was always... I had always had outs to everything. So... I still recommend running them. Okay, let's see. Is there I can't think of anything that you guys don't already know. You're probably tired of seeing these kind of deck profiles because it's prophecies. I ran this because my friend took pretty much 3 Draco Sacks and 2 of my big eyes to run dragons, and he did pretty well. He just didn't quite make it. There wasn't enough people there to get whatever, 30 something. I think we only got 24 invites instead of 32. So if he had won 1 more game, he probably would have made it in. All right, let me run through the matchups real fast. I ran Tidal Mermails was round 1. I beat him 8,000, or excuse me, he beat me 8,000 to nothing first game. You know, it's never a good feeling when your first game of your first round you get, pretty much OTK'd. It wasn't an OTK though. Then I beat him 7,300 to nothing. It was, he was making some choices I didn't think were great. I don't think he had 2 big eye. I think he only had 1 and some Draco and 1 Draco Sack and some Gaias. And then the third game was a really great game. It was a grind match. But I mean, Tidal Mermails, it just OTKs. This was, he had double sphere. It was just ridiculous. So, but I barely pulled that off. 2 was a Gusto deck. It was probably my only tier 2 deck the whole day. It's a deck where they set little cards and you attack into them, and then they bring out another little guy, and in defense, and you attack into that, and they bring in, and they just keep having searchers over and over and over. So it was really hard to get through all that. And then that nasty freeze, switch control, and it was fantastic. So I beat him first round. Second, he got me just off grinding it out, and I never drew any priestesses. I only had 1 spellbook the whole game, and I was just sucking air the whole time. And then the last game, it was 8,000 to nothing. I just did $4,000 and then $4,000. It was pretty sick. Round 3, Dino Fist, like I said, really hard to beat. He beat me 8,000 to nothing first game. I seem to have lost quite a few of my game 1s. The more we'll go through this, I think you'll see. 2, he pretty much set up his field pretty well, and then I had the right fate plays, and I had the wisdom in hand, and I just started plussing, but it wasn't anything dramatic. It was just grind. Game 3, I beat him 7,800 to nothing. It was pretty much, I just punched him, and then I punched him. I mean, as you can see here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, turns back and forth. So I won game 3. Game 4 was this jerk of an Evil Swarm player. He took 25 minutes to play the first round because he kept asking me what all my cards did. And mine were all in English. All these German ones that you saw when I go through the profile, those were all out. I had my other deck in there. He won the first game 300 to 550, excuse me. It was barely a win. The next game I beat him 8,000 to nothing, and then we drew. We didn't even get to go to game 3. He almost made me to where I didn't make the top 8. Round 5 was E-Dragons. Definitely a worry, but we were both at 55 game 1. I hit him with a priestess. He hit me with I can't remember what it was. I always stole my priestess with Big Eye, and then he hit me with it. And then what I did was after that, he sit there. He had Big Eye and priestess out. He had like a back row or something. I got rid of the back row. I made my own Big Eye, stole his Big Eye, stole my priestess back, and then punched for game. So it was quite funny. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, because I detached priestess and then I spellbook a life, so I had 2 priestess and 2 Big Eye out, and I just attacked with both Big Eyes, or excuse me, both priestesses, and it was quite funny. And then game 2, he beat me 8,000 to nothing. And then game 3, I OTK'd. I think I had 3 priestess all at once. There was a judgment play. I had 2 in hand, and then I added another one to hand. No, I had 2 in hand, and then I added another one to hand, and then I drew. Round 6, another E-Dragon deck. This is my only loss. I had, I was 4-1 at the time. I go in, he beats me game 1 again. E-Dragons just seem to beat me game 1. Game 2, I sided in D-Fishers, and that really killed him. I don't think I sided in anything else. I sided in the Mind Drain, and it just didn't go off. I mean, I flipped it up, but it didn't stay on the field because he sided in his back row hate. Then I beat him 7,000 to nothing. In the last game, he just destroyed me. It was like I'm pretty sure it was almost an OTK. Yeah, there it is, 1,000 points for Mind Drain. And then he just killed me 7,000. So I'm going into round 7. I'm playing Dino Fist. What sucks right here is I don't know if you can see that. It says loss. We got deck checked, and it wasn't like the normal. It was somebody must have reported or somebody saw something. So he lost game 1 off that, which I thought was, I hate to win like that, but I couldn't change it. First real game, he won 8,000 to nothing. He just kept grinding and punching. I never drew a priestess or a spellbook that I could actually use. So that's why I'm seeing why people are playing that crescent, spellbook of the crescent, because you can always, usually if you're sucking air and you can't get a secret, you can play that. And I think he warning. No, he didn't. He was just 8,000 to nothing. Okay, and then last game, 8,000, then I OTK'd him. Stuff you see down here, we actually played what we said would have been game 3. We played it out after that, and just to see who really would have won. I still would have won, but yeah, I just OTK'd, which is not that easy to do, surprisingly. The last one, round 8, we're X1, and I'm playing against Tempest Dragunity. Really cool guy, kind of a strange name. It's like Irish dude, but 8,000 to nothing. I beat him. He just didn't get anything. It was really bad. I mean, oh no, never mind. I remember this. This was the game that I was really, I don't know, proud of, not the right term, but he starts doing all this Dragunity stuff. He gets that Mistletoe. He gets out the ducks or whatever, the level 2 tuner, and he makes a double Mistletoe. He starts synchroing the Vagina Face, and then he makes a Stardust, and then he makes a Scrap Dragon, and then he brings a Gaia Charger to the field, and then he ends up with a Red Eyes Darkness Metal and Defense. So Scrap, Stardust, Gaia, Red Eyes, and says go. And I'm like, oh jeez. So first thing I do is I fate the Stardust away. Then I drop the Priestess. What did I do? Oh jeez. I drop the Priestess, and then I pop the Scrap Dragon. I play Reborn. Bring back the Scrap Dragon, set a spell, I think it was Wisdom, use Scrap Dragon's effect, pop the Gaia Charger, and then put power on the Priestess, attack into the red MD, grab a spell, and it was pretty much it was stupid. So that was a pretty awesome turn of events. I just happened to have all the right cards that I needed. I mean, I'm not going to say I made some amazing play. I made the right plays in the right order, but I had fate and power and a Reborn. I mean, it's never a bad thing. And a Priestess. Game 2, it was pretty much just a big 400 hit. He didn't touch me. It was pretty much, I just 2-0'd him. He drew horrible the second game. It wasn't even fair. So anyway, guys, and then top 8 I played against Ambrose Jones or AJ Jones, and he beat the crap out of me 2 games in a row with Evil Swarms. I also made tons of misplays. Everybody's sitting there watching you, and I just don't forget a lot of the reasons I lost, and actually the reason I lost to Ambrose here is because the head judge made a ruling where Valor negated Justice till the end of the end phase, which is not true. That's not how it works at all. You got like 6 steps in the end phase. The first 2 are you guys choosing You know, you can pass priority to each other to activate effects. Second two, step 3 and 4 are your optional effects, or excuse me, your mandatory effects, and you have to give your mandatory effects that one chance to activate and resolve. So, Valor being a mandatory, I say, well, I don't have any mandatories. I pass to you. My opponent says, okay, now my Valor activates and goes off and then resolves. And then turn 5 and 6, you do your optionals. And then 5, you know, I say, well, now I have my Justice and she can go. And that's how it works. I've double checked on that. I've triple checked on that. I've had people verify it, and that's the way it should have been. And so I would have won a lot more games. Sorry for the low, scratchy voice today, guys, and the fact that I don't have a ton of energy. I've been sick, and I'm home with my kid who was injured, so just kind of out of it. And then I ended up with the deck box. Ambrose was cool and hooked me up with this. And I got, as you saw, the Draco Sack mat. And I will be bringing you guys some more duel videos pretty soon. I'm still working to get my computer fixed. It's still not working right. I'm probably just going to buy an iMac, and I might be selling some collection stuff to save up for that. Okay, pretty much between now and Nats is going to be practice. Every time I play at my locals, DN, all that's going to be practice. I would love to hear from you guys. Out of the big 3 decks, which is Prophecy, Dragons, and Evil Swarm, I'm hearing Evil Swarm is getting a huge push. People are saying it's now becoming better than some of these other twos. I would love to hear what you guys think I should run. I have all 3 decks. I can play them all. I have 3 of everything I need. I'm just curious. And don't just... I would like it if you not just put E-Dragons. Just tell me a little bit why. Just 1 or 2 sentences. Thank you guys for watching. I would love if you just click that like button before you leave the page, and maybe comment below with your thoughts. Thanks, guys. Later.